Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Monday night live stream. As you can see, have another special guest here, 2 weeks in a row. John, Katie Tropicals, say hello.
Hello, everyone, on this somber Monday.
Actually, you are muted. Still, hold on. Okay, now say hello.
Hello, everyone. This is going well already.
Going well already.
Shocker that when you bring John on, there's technical issues. Would have never thought.
Yeah, it just comes with the territory. But I think we're good now, except I lost chat.
Uh-oh.
All right, I got chat. We're here. We're ready to talk Rainbowfish. There's no echo. Volume issues. Yep. John's quiet. I did turn you up, so hopefully you're good now.
Are we good now? Good now? Good now? Mic
Much
check.
better. Much
Microphone.
better. Much better.
There we go.
Mute Limp Biscuit.
Hey, I'm not Limp Biscuit today. That's only on Sundays.
Only on Sundays, folks. Well, let's talk about that real quick. Tool. Your tool.
Sure.
Tanks of
Let's
our lives.
talk about it.
You still having fun doing it? It's only been a week since I asked you, though.
I am. There is going to be some changes to it, which I'm not going to reveal on your stream because I'm going to save that for mine. But I still absolutely love it. I mean, the process of making those videos is a blast. I love it. And I don't really want to make the changes to it, but I'm going to do it because it's necessary. So, but yeah, it's my favorite thing I've ever done on YouTube, no doubt.
All right, so we're going to talk about the elephant in the room because people are already talking about it. They say, I thought this was a rainbow stream. Bentley says, we got a big cichlid guy on here. Oh, excuse me. And yet the point of this was to have a perspective, two different perspectives. One, someone who's kept a lot of rainbows, and someone who has never kept rainbows but is thinking about it. And I thought maybe with all of your guys' help, we could maybe talk John over the edge and get him into some rainbow fish. So the goal here is to maybe talk about Rainbowfish for a little while. I don't know, maybe you have some questions. John had no idea about the topic until about a half hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's very sad to me and very depressing to me that I'm still the cichlid guy. I mean,
let's take a look right behind you. I see one tank of cichlids and I see another tank of cichlids.
but there's arowanas aren't cichlids. And if you were to look behind me, you'd see a tank full of Danios, rasboras, which came from you, and betas.
You say behind you, but you're pointing in front of you.
But yeah, it's behind you because you're looking at me. But on the other side of the room where Lisa's tanks are, you have all of those. I mean, and we both know that when people say John's a cichlid guy, they mean these cichlids, not the Oscars and all of the other ones. So, but anyway, I'm just being silly. I don't care if people want to call me a cichlid guy. We've only done probably 200 videos about fish that are not cichlids, but it's okay. I'm not mad at anybody.
Yeah, but the only videos people watch of yours are the ones of the cichlids. So maybe that's it.
But see, that's not true either.
Well, I mean, your cichlid videos have like hundreds of thousands of views. And I think when you search it, a lot of your videos come up.
It's true.
And that's also how you started.
My most watched video is a beta video. That's the most watched video on my entire channel. But you're right, and I was just being silly. If people want to call me a cichlid guy, that's fine. I concede.
All right, KG Tropicals. All right. So, I've heard you say on the streams last couple weeks that you're thinking about Rainbowfish. So I wanted to bring you on and see how we can make that happen.
Well, I really don't need to be convinced because I really do like the fish and I think it's something I'd like to try. But I don't know anything about them. So it's not as much, if you want to play the game like you're convincing me, that's fine. But that's not really what it's about. I don't need to be convinced. I just don't know anything about them. So, yeah,
well, maybe not that I
go.
need to convince you, because I mean, we're both fish people. Like, you wouldn't have to convince me to keep Africans or betas or anything like that. But You say you know nothing about them, and that's, I guess, what my goal is, to help you learn about them. And we have some pretty knowledgeable rainbow people in the crowd here tonight as well. So if you have questions, what are they?
Well, I would have prepared a long list of questions about rainbows if I knew that we were going to be doing this tonight. Um, let's go. This cat is just killing me. Let's go bare bone basics. Let's talk about tank size. Let's talk about how big the fish get. I mean, I kind of know that, but
Are there any rainbow
differences
fish?
in males and females.
Are there any that you have your eye on that you'd want? Like, you've seen this one, you've seen that one, you've seen that one, but you really want this one?
The Bosemani. That's the one that kind of introduced me to rainbows. And so, yeah, blue, yellow, gotta love that.
So, okay, I do want to talk about something here. I'm going completely off topic. Because Gary says, what's the difference between a dwarf Plecos and a pygmy rainbow? So a pygmy rainbow, there's actually a rainbow called the Pygmaeus. That's the pygmy rainbow is an actual species, just like the dwarf Plecos is a species. But the thing I don't understand is, why is it called dwarf Plecos? Like, I have this issue with fish when they put the word dwarf in front of it, because when you say dwarf Plecos, you would think that there's a larger Plecos. I mean, that's just what I would think, right? Like, so
Sure.
there'd be like a normal Plecos and then a dwarf version of that. But other small fish, they don't put dwarf in front of. So why do they do it with rainbow fish? And they do it with some cichlids, but with cichlids, it's like a group, like a pistos would be a dwarf cichlid. But for some reason with rainbows, there's a dwarf Plecos, a dwarf Kamaka, but there's not like a giant Plecos or a giant Kamaka. I don't know. It just bugs me. I don't get it.
That's interesting. I can't help but every single time you say the word Plecos, am I saying it right? Plecos?
Yeah.
It makes me think of the movie Minority Report with the precogs. I know that's weird, but every time you say that, I think about the movie Minority Report.
I haven't seen that movie in a very, very, very long time. Probably like
My
40
cat
years.
just bit me. You jerk.
All right, so Bosemani rainbow fish. I can definitely get you the best out there.
Ooh.
As far as like tank size, I would recommend 4 feet. Doesn't matter how many gallons, 40, 55, 75, 183.6, but you're going to want 4 feet. And
Okay.
obviously the bigger the better.
I'm looking at a 90-gallon right there that's 4 feet.
That would be perfect. Because Bosemani, they do get a kind of bigger bodied when they're about 5-6 years old. So a 90, 75 is perfect for them. Like a school of like 12 to 18 18 would probably be max, in my opinion. As far as I think if you get over that many, it's going to start looking bad. It's going to start looking crowded. You're not going to be able to have room to swim. That's mine. I don't know. But anyways, so a 90-gallon would be perfect. And to make them look good, you want a black background.
Not blue, right?
Not blue. Especially because they are blue. So you don't want to wash out their natural blue, right?
Agreed.
And then also dark substrate. Rainbow fish just don't look good on white or bright substrate. I mean, they still look good, but nothing like maybe like Eco Complete, something like that.
Now, aggression level on them, I've heard mixed opinions.
So
I've heard everything from, they
experience-
won't hurt anything.
Yeah, my experience is, if you have like full grown rainbows and you add maybe some like endlers or guppies or something that's really shiny and flashy, that really distracts them. They like it and they're going to fit in it for a while. Eventually they'll figure it out. But as soon as you introduce like new bright small fish like that, they're very curious and they will fin nip, but usually it calms down over time. But like any fish, you can still get just the angry fish that wants to just be a jerk. But that's generally not the case with rainbows.
What about, because see, my plan is to make this 90-gallon an angelfish tank. And in fact, I'm looking at the angels right now. They're very small. They're in a 10-gallon right now until we put them in that, which will be in a couple of weeks. They'll be in the 90-gallon. So
What kind of angels? I'm just curious.
Huh?
What kind of angels?
They're just little kois that came from Petco.
Nice. Koi are my favorite, so.
Little $3 kois. They're actually really nice looking. They're very small. They're about quarter size right now. The biggest out of the group is maybe a little bigger than that, but they're all about quarter size. They were like dime size when she got them, and Lisa picked them up. They were teeny tiny babies. So we've had them in there for a little bit, but the whole plan all along has been to put them in the 90-gallon. So are they going to mix with rainbows? See, that's the other thing I don't even really know.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So in my 240-gallon, I have Leopolda angels with, I don't even know how many different species of rainbows now. Probably like 4 or 5 different species of rainbows. And no problems at all. No problem.
Okay.
Rainbows and angelfish are probably one of the most common mixes.
Well, that just shows I know nothing about this fish, because if that's the most common and I didn't even know that, you are educating me today, my friend.
Well, I feel like when I'm watching YouTube videos and I just like Google or YouTube Rainbowfish, whatever, and I'm just looking at, a lot of times I'll just look at like random tanks, these videos that are just random uploads from somebody who has like 1 subscriber, has like 12 views, all these random videos. It seems like they're mixed with angelfish a lot, so I don't think you'll have a problem.
Good. Come on, Reno, really? This cat is... Lisa, come get your cat.
Come on, Lisa.
He's yours now. He was supposed to be mine, but since he's bad, he's yours now.
Now, one thing to be cautious of when it comes to most rainbows is that they have like larger mouths, but they have really small throats. So pellets are usually have to be really small, nothing big, because they will die if they get food lodged in their throat. And I've had it happen to me, and it sucks. So that's something to be cautious of. The other thing is Hardscape. Their rainbow fish are super fast, especially when feeding, and they'll run into anything. So if you have like wood that goes to the top, things like that, they'll run into it. And a lot of times with rainbows, you'll see it looks like maybe they have cotton mouth or some kind of fungus on their mouth, but it's just an injury from them running into stuff. And you don't need to treat it. You don't really need to do anything except keep the water clean, and it'll go away. Man, there's a specific kind of wood. I can't remember what it is. The small viney wood that a lot of people use in aquascaping.
Manzanita?
Yeah. So a lot of people will use that, and it's just, I think it's a little too much, a little too dense for rainbow fish, especially because they're not very bright.
See, that surprises me, because angels are so slow. They're like skirt, 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 and it surprises me that they would go so well together, because they're such slow movers. But what about Danios?
Danios are excellent, especially because Danios are insanely fast. See, the difference is like Danios are sporadic all the time, just nonstop, all over the place. Where rainbows, they'll school back and forth after a water change, but especially when feeding, that's when they're just really crazy.
Well, I don't know if I would want to put them in this 90. I kind of feel like I like that 18 number. I like that number, and I feel like maybe just a new 125 and do 18 rainbows in there and some other stuff. Maybe that's what'll happen. Because see, this isn't even really my tank. I'm acting like it is. I'm pointing to it. It's right there. But it's not like you can see it. But this 9 says she agreed to put the angels in there, which is very sweet of her. So the rainbows, if I do rainbows, I'll probably just get a new tank for them, because we're going to have all this extra space. I'm going to need to add some fish anyway. So,
well, a 125 with rainbow fish would be pretty sweet. What are you looking at?
What else am I looking at in this room? It's the stupid cat. We have a little 1-gallon bucket that actually used to have shrimp in it, that is about halfway full of water, and he's splashing the water. This cat is a nightmare. He's horrible. He's splashing the water around. I don't know what his problem is. Lisa, come get your cat. Sounds like John needs his own 90. She says, no, John needs his own 125.
Yeah, Tampa says 118 and a 125. That's hot. Yes, 18 is kind of a... I don't know what it is, but for me, rainbows, it's always in groups of 6. 6, 12, 18, 24. I don't know. Those are like the magic number to me when it comes to rainbows.
Are they like Africans? Like they're not an aggressive fish, right? Like if having larger numbers doesn't help with curbing aggression.
So no, not like Africans. Fish Tank Barn says, can you do rainbows with African cichlids? Yes, but not like overly aggressive or super large African cichlids. But a lot of them will do well in higher pH. That's the other nice thing about rainbows is they're very adaptable. So as long as your parameters are stable, you can keep them at a higher pH.
So they're like angels then. They can go in pretty much anything.
Yep.
I like that.
Now
Sounds like the
obviously they
winning
won't
combination.
breed in anything, but they can, thrive in just about anything.
I'm not worried about breeding them. I just want to have them.
Well, yeah. But
And they are like Africans in that the males are the colored up ones and the females are just all gray, right?
Yep. Except
Yes.
if you get your Bosemani from me, the females will look outstanding. A lot of people see my females when I put them in a video, and they try to tell me that they're males, but they're not.
Sounds
So my
like a
rainbows
good marketing opportunity for you, Bob Steenfott.
What?
I said it sounds like a good marketing opportunity for you. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, I have no problem sending you rainbows. I don't even care if you make a video on them or not. Just like the Rasboras, I didn't care. The thing is that these rainbows are direct descendant of wild-caught fish from Gary Lang. So they're not farm-bred. There's no interbreeding. They are legit, real, I believe, third generation from wild-caught fish from Gary Lang.
Now, you talked about them at 5 years old being 5 or 6 inches. Are these like frontosas, like super slow growers, or what?
Oh, I don't know that they're on the frontosa level, but they're a fish that I swear never stops growing. I mean, maybe at like the 7 or 8 year mark they might cap out, but once they're finished growing long, then they start growing their gigantic foreheads. So they never really stop growing.
Okay.
Kind of like what I did. Once I stopped growing up, I started
Me
growing a
too.
gigantic forehead.
I'm still growing. Look at my forehead. If I didn't shave, my hair would be way back here. I'm not kidding you either. Look like one of the Three Stooges.
Yeah, I need to shave because my hats are getting really tight and it's annoying. So when I shave all my hair off, they're nice and loose again. But now it's like can't even take it off. I put my
There's
head out the window on
nothing
a
worse.
freeway and it won't come off.
Like today, if I was to put a baseball cap on, it'd be no big deal. But like a beanie, that's like Velcroing something to my head. I thought you were going to take the hat off. Look at that. I'm looking at, see, we're like a 10-second delay or whatever. I'm looking at a delayed shot. It looked like you were about to take the hat off.
Oh, yeah. I have done it on streams before, but it was back when I streamed like 6 hours at a time, like 5 days a week, and nobody wants to go through and look. But there is one live stream where you can see.
How about that?
But you got to put in the time if you want to see it. Other people have.
I like your streams, but I'm not watching for 5 hours.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone that would. Paul says, the reason I like rainbow so much is water parameters don't have to be perfect. They adjust to just about anything. That is an excellent point. They're just a super easygoing fish. And just amazing. I mean, I put Rainbowfish to try to clickbait people in here. And look, I got Bentley in here. Rainbowfish guy. Local to me that I need to go down and tour his place. I should probably send him a message. It's crazy that he's that close to me. Well, he's not like close, but he's close enough.
See, I like the sound of that a lot too, because angels are also the same way. And you mean you can't be negligent, but if you're not able to do water changes every week, you're going to be okay. This tank is that way. I mean, shoot, I could probably go once a month doing water changes on this tank, and it would be but it's huge. I mean, there's so much water there. So having two jobs that are both pretty much full time, water changes are difficult to do. So to have one that can go a little longer between water changes, I really like that idea.
And that is exactly why I love planted tanks. It gives you even more room for air. Even longer between water changes.
I was at Petco the other day. Lisa's going to hate hearing me say this. It wasn't Petco, actually. It was PetSmart. And I went there because I bought the top fin canister filter to do a review on. And they have their 125 setups with the stand and the lids and all of that. And I was like, they're so cheap. It surprised me. So that's what got me thinking of the extra 125 for my new fish room.
How much were they? I'm curious.
I think they're like $350.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's like Black Friday pricing.
I could be wrong, but I feel like I've seen that somewhere. I feel like they're under $400 for the tank and the stand and the lids.
Yeah, I got mine. I got my last 125 at PetSmart with the stand, the lids, and the lights, even though they're trash, for $325 on Black Friday. Super cheap.
Maybe the last time I saw the price, it was Black Friday, and that's why I'm thinking that. I didn't look at the price that day, but I just remember them being very affordable. And I mean, I'm not short on filters, so I don't need a filter. If it comes with the lids, and you're right, the lights are junk, but it comes with the lids and the stand, and it's a decent looking stand. I mean, it's perfect.
So your favorite name on YouTube, Loop Noop Hoopy Oops.
Love it.
With the first super chat, $1. Thank you, Loop Noop Hoopy Oops.
Not the first super chat, by the way, but
what?
No, not the first super chat.
Don't tell me there was one from Matthew Vargas.
There was.
Oh my gosh, there was too. I miss Matthew's super chats every single stream.
Wasn't he one of the heavy hitters that day you got all that money too?
Yeah, trust me, I feel like a jerk. I've even sent him emails saying that I'm a jerk. Bob, if you get John Kamakas, get them. Wait, Bob, if you get John Kamakas, get me them too. But I already said I had some for you, Matthew. Specifically, just for you, I have some in my personal fish room. Not in my resale garage fish room, but in my personal fish room.
So, okay, what is Kamaka then? What is that?
So Kamaka is a rainbow. It's a rainbow fish. It's a dwarf rainbow fish. But if for something they put the dwarf in the name there, dwarf Kamaka. You know what a turquoise rainbow fish is? The blue one.
Okay.
So it's smaller, and the blue has like the blue in the Kamaka has purple in it, so it's like a purplish bluish. And under lighting, when it's like zigzagging in and out, you can see like the purple sheen come and go. They're just really, really nice rainbow fish.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Again, I don't know anything. Okay. I'm a cichlid guy, remember? Is there any issue with just mixing them all? Like, if I was to say, Bob, here's however much money, and you just send me 18 really nice ones, whatever ones you want, is there an issue with that, or do they need to be all the same? I don't care about breeding them.
No, you can have mixed species. A lot of people, I used to always go back and forth where I would have like a community rainbow fish with a ton of different community rainbows, or different types of rainbows. And then I would have, after like a year or two, I would be like, yeah, a species only would look cool too. And for me, I still kind of go back and forth on what I think is cooler. But right now I'm kind of in that like species only phase, I guess. And I just think like a giant school of Bosemans to me would look cooler than like 20 different types of rainbows. But a lot of people like to do the different types of rainbows because of all the different variations in colors. So I get it.
Well, see, I'm kind of agreeing with the species only. I don't know. I feel like, particularly what I know about the way Bosemans look, they're just so striking. The blue and the yellow. And I just feel like a tank with a whole bunch of those would just be absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
But
and you can go back uh, a long time ago to some of like Dustin's older Rainbowfish videos where he had like a, I don't even know if he still has this tank. He might still have it. I don't know. But he had that 220 that was just full of Bosemani's, like a 220 planted dirted tank.
I think that might be where I was introduced to them for the first time was from Dustin. I mean, I know it was Dustin that I saw him for the first time, but it might even be, I'm sure it was that tank.
Yeah, and it looks really, really good. It does.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about species onlys. I mean, I've been talking about the yellow lab tank forever. That's a striking tank, all blacked out yellow labs. I really love tanks with minimal decor, all blacked out, and platinum angels. Oh, that is so good. That's beautiful. You don't even need a single plant in that tank. Just have those fish. Absolutely gorgeous. So, yeah, I like the idea of just doing a species only.
Do you think you will plant it? Speaking of plants.
Yeah, I will.
And
unless you tell me not
$1
to.
super chat from Fish Room Fever. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, Lisa has all these planted tanks, and she's done very good with them, and they're gorgeous. And I feel like I'm going to need to have one of my own because there's going to be like a little rivalry, a little competition. My tank's over here, her tank's over there. So I got to make my side represent. I got to make it look good.
Yeah, she says. Lisa says, "Who's planting it?"
I'm planting it, and I'm going to make a really nice video about it, like I did for you. And it's going to be gorgeous. And
It's gonna be the most watched video on your channel because it has rainbow fish.
hey, I can honestly tell you this. This is absolute truth. YouTube has nothing to do with why I want to do that. That's a fish I've always been fascinated with. But hey, if people like to watch rainbow videos and they like to see a goofball that's never had them before, set up a tank for them. Right on. Bring it on.
So Zen Ginger says, "Is it Bose Mani or Bosemani?" There's also the Bomani. So there's Melanotania bosemani and then there's Melanotania bomani. So those are two different species actually. Zach's Tank's Crazy Aquarium Guy with the $1 or $10 or $1, $10, whichever way you prefer to look at it. It is blue, so I think that means $1. Thank you, Zach.
I have an itch in my eye that I want to itch so bad, but if I do, I'm going to blow up like this because of this right here, this cat.
So Candy Overhaul says, "I remember the last time you planted a tank, John. I think that was like right before you quit YouTube, wasn't it?"
That was with Corey. Yeah, it frustrated me so much that I quit. No.
No, we all know that was the live stream you did with me.
Right. Yeah, Corey was on that one too, don't forget. No. People still ask me about those streams with Corey to this day. It's absolutely true. And you know what? I enjoyed myself with those planted tanks that I had. They are nothing compared to what Lisa has done since, but it was fun. And the octopus plant is still my favorite. It's probably always going to be. Jungle Vow, some swords, the octopus, easy stuff. That's what I would put in mind. Easy and tall.
You're right with the octopus plant. That is an amazing plant. I have maybe 2 stems that I've been holding on to, and I used to have a ton of it, but it all died out in my 125 and got overran by Jungle Vow. But I still have a couple stems, and it's an amazing plant.
That's a plant that makes you look like you're good at keeping plants.
Yep.
Because
Anubias is one of those too.
You just put it in the water. What's that?
Anubias is one of those plants too, because it's really hard to kill, and you can just throw in a ton, and it never changes. It takes forever to grow.
Yep. The Jungle Vow I loved when I had that. We've got a little bit of that now, and I think they go well in every single tank, especially with this 90, because with it being so tall, we can let it get all the way up there. But the octopus, I love that, and there'll definitely be some of that. We don't have any of that right now. It'll definitely be in my planted angel slash Bosemani tank.
Yes, aqua balls. He says you guys mean Pogostemum stellatus octopus. That is the plant we are talking about. I'm pretty
We
sure.
don't use scientific names here.
Well, I mean, octopus is the last of the 3 scientific names. Seeing a cat jump on the arowana tank makes me wonder, do they ever jump up at the cat sitting at the lid?
The Oscars do. They don't jump up, but when the cat goes up there, and you see the one Oscar's right below him right now. It's like the Oscars are like, hey, is that somebody that's going to give us food? Yep. So the arowanas don't really pay it any attention, but the Oscars do, and apparently the Pleco does too. But yeah, it's funny. He just sits up there, and sometimes he'll reach his hand down, his paw down the front of the tank. I don't know what he thinks he's doing, but he gets the glass all dirty, and it makes me mad. But no, I mean, we haven't had any problems with him with the fish, just because it's got some pretty heavy duty lids on there.
I wanted to let's see. Antran says. Aquatic Arc says wood catfish can be kept from 69 to 75 degrees, but other websites say 78. I want to keep mine at 72. My advice to you is look at the scientific name, and then pull it up on Seriously Fish. Seriously Fish is a pretty reputable site, and that's what I would go by. Streamlabs, huh?
That's what I saw. I was like, what is that? Like,
I don't know. I'm not even on Streamlabs. That's really weird.
Huh. What are you using? OBS?
Yeah, OBS. I'm not.
Interesting. And it's like it's a great check mark. So it's like a verified channel. That is odd.
Boom! I just banned him. I don't know who that is.
Forget about the sponsorship with them now, Bob Steenfott.
I don't know. That's just weird. Is it some kind of bot?
If you were using Streamlabs, I would think that
exactly, but I'm not.
Some kind of a bot. But maybe it's just a way for them to come in here and say, hey, remember us? You should use I would use Streamlabs, but I have a Mac, so, don't troll my channel, because I would use
I'm gonna unban them and see if this bot or whatever it is says something.
And the interesting thing is the Streamlabs was telling the person not to post links, like as if they're a moderator on here. It's kind of nice. Maybe that is a way of them saying, hey, don't forget about us over here.
But see, links are already disabled, so they wouldn't even show up for someone who's not a moderator to see. I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, we could spend some time on this. I'd rather talk about rainbows.
I don't know. I just want to see if this person says anything, or if it's just some kind of bot. It's so weird. Matthew Vargas with the $5 super chat. Will medicating my whole tank with erythromycin melt my plants? It's 90% salt. No, I've never had, as long as you stick to the directions on the bottle, I've never had any ill effects with erythromycin. And you must be talking about API erythromycin. But yeah, I've never had any issues. Ginger Grays with the $5 super chat. Meow. Reno is the best troll.
Why don't you come get him? You can adopt him for free. I'm so frustrated with him because he's like making us change all of our plans for our basement. Because, I've been saying all along, I'm going to move my entire office operation down there. And I'm going to buy 2 large tables, one to use for streaming and the other to use for my desk. And I'm like, I want to move all of my bobbleheads and all of my collector stuff. He ain't going to let that stuff be down there. He's going to mess with all of it. And it scares me to death. So I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do down there.
Sorry, I'm reading the chat. So I'm going back to this Streamlabs dude, because Gnarly Tank Addict did not post a link, but it told them to refrain from posting links. So bizarre. Anyways, Sand Creek
That's got to be something.
Sand Creek Aquatics with the $1 super chat. Thank you, cool guy. Shades there for $1. Do you know Candy? How big is the tank? What are we talking about? Anyways, Furlough says, I love Bosemani's and Madagascar. I want a tank of just those two. Bosemani's and Madagascar's. Yes, Madagascar rainbows are sweet. I just got some in. Hopefully they do well. So is Reno moving with the fish room?
Yeah, that's the idea. But he might stay out here in the garage.
So what else you got? Any other rainbow questions?
You know what? I think you've done a very good job.
This is the longest I've ever gone about talking about a topic that was actually the live stream. We're 40 minutes into this, and I've been talking about Rainbowfish the whole time. Normally, I pick these topics, and we talk about it for about 3 minutes, and then we just move on to nonsense. This is weird. I'm kind of like...
Well, you're welcome, because, rainbows do so well on your channel. The water parameters we talked about, tank size we talked about, tank mates we talked about. I mean, what more is there, really? That's pretty much it. I'm not going to ask you about breeding them because I don't care about breeding them. So, let's talk about Kobe Bryant or something. Just like
anything else, your extreme food will be just fine. Your extreme flake. Mix in some frozen food every once in a while.
And the big mouth, small throat thing, as weird as that sounds, that's not going to be a problem anyway. If we have them in there with angels, they've got such teeny mouths anyway. So, it'll all work out. I'm excited about it. I don't even know if they're going to be in with angels. Because again, Lisa said we can put the angels in this 90-gallon that I'm pointing at that you can't see. So the angels might just stay in there. And then the rainbows can have something else in with them. Or I might not even get a rainbow tank. I don't know, but I like the idea. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Do Bosemani eat their fry? Is that why people remove the fry? You'll have way higher survival rates if you remove the eggs from the parents. Yes, way higher. Tampa Tom says, let's talk about what rainbows like to eat. Answer everything. I will say that some rainbows will eat plants.
Oh?
And they're very specific on what kind of plants they'll eat. But
they better not eat octopus plants. I'll get rid of those fish.
I've never had that issue with Bosemani, but it is kind of weird. I had some Running Creek rainbows that just destroyed my plants. Just ate them nonstop. I could dump flake food in there like every 5 minutes, and they would just go right back to pecking at the plants all day long. It was so annoying. It was so annoying that even though they're incredibly rare, I actually got rid of them.
Oh.
Don't mess with my plants, dudes. Moral of the story.
Had to check the score on my Caps game. I'm missing a Caps game for you tonight.
Oh, sorry, I'm still distracted. I need to just move past this Streamlabs incident.
Have they popped back up again?
No, but I'm getting distracted by chat. Switch your light cycle on the rainbow tanks. The lights come on the best time for you to see. Oh, yes, that's actually a good point. Blake's Aquatic. It's not really that an issue with Bosemani's, but there's a lot of rainbows that are only colored up when the lights come on, and then they'll slowly kind of dim down their color throughout the day. So like Melanotamnia, the parva. Parvas are super colorful in the morning when you turn the light on, and then only for like an hour or two, and then they dull down quite a bit the rest of the day. But those first 2 hours, they're amazing. So, oh, excuse me. His suggestion was to make sure the lights come on when you're home to see it. But I don't think you'll have to worry about that with Bosemani. But there are some rainbows that are definitely like that. And when I'm filming, when I go to film rainbows, I make sure to keep their light off until I'm ready to film, and then I turn it on, just to make them look better. I cheat like that. What are you gonna
Now, are they a fish that will easily tell you something's wrong in your tank, like by their color dimming. Like 'cause with these, if all of a sudden their color starts getting cloudy and dim, it's like, uh-oh, something's wrong. Do they do that, or are they pretty much colored up all the
I
time?
don't think you'll be able to tell that with Bosemani. Especially the ones I have. Again, not to brag or whatever, but they're pretty colorful, and even if they dulled down, they'd still be more colorful than like something you would get at PetSmart. So it's definitely not like Africans who lose all their color and turn like a really dark colored when they're super stressed. It's nothing like that.
And you talked about them being fin nippers to shiny, flashy guppies and endlers. What about angels? I mean, they've got those long, flowy thingies.
Yeah, it hasn't been a problem for me. Like I said, I have them with Leopoldi, which are pretty. They have the Leopoldi angels have a really nice shimmer to them, and it hasn't been an issue. And I think it's just the size. Like, rainbows are much larger than guppies and endlers, or tetras, rasboras. And again, it's normally just them like checking them out after a day or two. They're like, okay, it's not food. They chill out usually. But again, you may get the jerk that just wants to kill everything.
Like this dragon blood right here that you can't see. He is the words I could use to describe that fish. He doesn't hurt anybody, but he chases them around nonstop. Here he comes. He's going to chase them around. Anyway.
I don't like dragon bloods. What a surprise, huh?
Yeah.
And your other one,
me.
the OBs. I don't like OBs either. I just don't. I don't know what it is. I have PTSD when it comes to OBs because I added OBs to my 125-gallon peacock tank, and all my fish died within a month. So, yeah.
Hey, you can get some bad apples. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Somebody said that Dustin said Australian rainbows are not good for your tank. Is that true? I've never had any issues with Australian rainbows. I think there was a super chat. Another $10 from Zach Tank's Crazy Aquarium Guy. Thank you, my friend. And then Furlow's Fish Room. Would Bosemani and Madagascar's be okay with plants? Yes. Yep, I've never had issues with Madagascar. If you go back years on my channels to my mixed 125-gallon rainbow tank, you'll see that there were Madagascars in there, and it was planted, and it was no issues at all.
So the ones that you sell, what size are they?
They're going to be about 2.5, 3 inches. They will be colored up closer to 3 inches, and they will have color. They'll look exactly like you think they look, but they still have a lot of growing to do. They'll be under a year old. They live 15 years, so you do get them at a good size for me. Although sometimes it just depends. You never know. I'm sure you came across this when you used to order fish. The size can vary greatly from 1 month to the next month.
Yeah, I wasn't ordering them from Gary Lang though.
And a lot of it, like I forget what it was that I had. The yellows, the Herbert Axelrodi yellow rainbow. A lot of people want those, and so I was buying a ton of them, and I bought all of the large ones, and then it was a point where the only option was small ones. So then I started buying the small ones. So people, if the demand is there,
I always see them in stores, and they're like an inch and a half. They're like teeny tiny things, and when they're juveniles, they don't color up, right? They're just like peacocks. They're going to be gray for a while, and then they'll color up when they start to mature.
Exactly. And the other reason you see them smaller is because they ship way better smaller, like most fish, right? But the larger rainbows, a lot of times what will happen is people will put too many of them in one bag. They'll ship them off, and again, rainbows, they're super fast. They'll just bump into each other the whole shipment. You'll receive them. They'll look all beat up, and that's one of the problems. So a lot of people don't like to ship them when they're larger size. Scott, King and Queen Cichlids with the $5 super chat. Bob, next fish event you're going to, and thoughts on the latest Star Wars movie? I have not seen
Here we
the
go.
new Star Wars movie, and I probably won't see it until it comes out on Netflix. My opinion on all the new Star Wars movies is that as soon as Disney took over and they went to yearly movies, they got terrible. Although, so the last year's I didn't like at all. The one not from last month, but the one before that I didn't like. The one before that I did like when everyone died at the end, even though you knew they were all going to die. I still enjoyed it, even though there was no suspense. But I generally don't go to I couldn't even tell you the last movie I went to see in a theater. It's been probably 10 years since I've gone to a theater. So as soon as it comes out on Netflix, I will definitely watch it. I love Star Wars. I love the franchise. I still watch the yearly movies. Even though they are a letdown for the Star Wars franchise, I believe they're still good when it comes to like just movies in general. Like they're better than the average movie, but I feel like Star Wars should be kind of held at a higher, higher expectations.
But why?
Because it's Star Wars, like the first.
I know,
three...
but everybody wants to compare all the movies to Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back is one of the best pieces of cinematography that's ever been done ever. So it's like
maybe you
trying to compare every basketball player to Michael Jordan. I mean, it's just dumb. Go there, enjoy yourself, pay your $27, and just enjoy yourself. Watch a movie, escape for a little bit. Why does everybody have to be so critical about them when it comes to Star Wars? Ugh! Have fun with it.
Because Star Wars. Hey, it was the same thing with Lord of the Rings. Like the first 3 Lord of the Rings are amazing, and then they came out with the Hobbit, and it was just trash.
Yeah, see, I wasn't into the Hobbit because I just didn't care about the Hobbit, but I really liked the 3 Lord of the Rings. I'm going to tell you this. I know you've got a couple of super chats to grab a hold of. I watched a movie a couple of days ago that was amazing. It took a little bit to marinate and figure out whether I thought it was amazing or not, but I thought it was absolutely amazing, and I know for a fact that you would hate it, Bob Steenfott, and that is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Loved it, thought it was fantastic, but you would hate it.
I think I would like that movie. The only thing that I have an issue with isn't it like 3 hours long? I just don't like 3 hour long movies in general.
It's a long commitment. I don't know if it's 3 hours, but it's just under 3 hours. I am someone who I am a huge fan of Leo DiCaprio. I can't say the word Leonardo. Love Leonardo DiCaprio in anything he's in, and I love Brad Pitt. And so you put those two as the main characters in a Quentin Tarantino movie, forget about it. Of course, it's going to be good. It's like Pacino and De Niro. You know, you just can't go wrong when it comes to those two together. So I loved the whole thing. Again, took me a little while. Not going to spoil anything. Took me a little while to figure out that I liked it. But once I stewed on it a little bit, I was like, yeah, I really liked that.
It is on my list of movies to watch.
But see, now that brings back a really good point. You got me going on movies here. People compare Quentin Tarantino movies, they compare them all to Pulp Fiction. And it's just like Star Wars. People will say, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was good, but it's no Pulp Fiction. I mean, come on. Pulp Fiction is a masterpiece. You can't... just because it's the same writer-director doesn't mean you should compare them all. Anyway, let me step off here. I'm done.
All right. Just calm down. I see the steam coming off your head. All right.
Scott's right, though. The Bruce Lee scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was hilarious and completely unexpected, just like the entire movie was unexpected, especially the ending. Not going to spoil it.
Can I get back to the super chats here?
Sure.
Would that be okay with you? So Scott's first question was, what's the next event? I don't know what my next event is because the only one that I'm guaranteed to go to currently is the Chicago Aquashella, and there's not even a date for it yet. I am 100% going to that one. I'm probably like 50-50 on Dallas. I know there's one in California, but I don't remember which one it is that I want to go to. The ACA? Is it ACA in California? I don't know. And then the American Live Bears Association in Florida I want to go to as well. So those 3 are on my list, but the only like absolute guaranteed one is Chicago Aquashella. Then we have a $2 super chat from Sand Creek Aquatics. When do you update your website? Been watching it. I haven't updated anything on the website in a very long time. And it's slowly going to start being updated as the weather improves. So if there's something that you want right now, honestly, the best thing you could do is email me. And I've had people email me that they want this. If they see it in a video and I have it, some people will email me and I'll just send them like a PayPal invoice after I verify that their weather is okay. One of the issues I've been having is people just buying stuff, even though it's like negative 30 degrees where they live for like the next month and a half. And that's fine. And the people that have already done it, like I'm not complaining. I don't have a problem with the people that have done it. But if I have like every single fish in my fish room is sold and I have to hang on to it for 2 months, then I'm not going to have any room to sell stuff to people that in California that I can ship stuff to. So I'm kind of in this weird area where I don't want my whole fish room full of fish that are sold, but I'm sitting on for months waiting for the weather to get better. So if there's something that you want, just send me a message via my contact us on the website, and that's the best thing to do. Bob, here's $5 from Rob Marion to help. Here's $5 to help you get to John's house to help move his fish room. I would only go to John's to help him with his internet problems.
Oh, stop it! We got.
I wouldn't pay to go to John's house to be just a mule, a work grunt.
I had my first stream on Thursday with no technical issues whatsoever. It's the first time in I don't even know how long. It felt so good.
maybe it's Lisa because she wasn't on that stream.
I don't know.
Correlation there? I don't know.
I don't know what it was. I don't want to say it was her. But it was, there was no distractions. I could just go and have fun and enjoy myself. It was wonderful. And it had nothing to do with her not being there. It had everything to do with not looking at the chat and seeing people constantly telling me about all the things that were wrong with the, so yeah, it was a good time.
Well, I found that if you don't have issues like that, then people won't, talk to you for an hour about the issues you're having. So
usually that's true. Yep. But there are still the people who will come onto my stream and say, echo, just for no reason, just echo.
Yeah, I know. I'm one of them.
Just to pick on me.
I'm gonna burn through a couple questions here real quick so I can get caught up in chat. What were the Julidochromis that you had forever and a day ago? They were Julidochromis malariae, something like that. Yes. Oh, Aiden, you answered your own question. That is correct. Can you talk about Leopolda Angelfish? Just Googled them. Do they really stay much smaller than scalar? Mine are definitely small. I've had them for a very long time. And yeah, they're definitely a smaller angelfish. Priscilla MK Art with the $2 super chat says Aquashella Dallas 2020 woohoo. Bob, just like movies and everything else. Okay, now I'm going to just scroll all the way to the bottom. If I missed your question, ask it again.
There was an R.I.P. Kobe in there. I did see that.
Yes, definitely. I didn't really want to get too much into that. I did the little thing at the beginning of the stream. And
I thought that was classy. That was nice.
A sad situation that's sad for a lot of people.
It is. I listen to sports talk radio all day long, and it was nonstop all day today. And it's like, man, I get it. I'm all for it. I was devastated. But all day, I mean, it's like you get to a point where you're hearing the same thing over and over and over again. It's kind of like a KG Tropicals video,
Well, I mean, what would you rather hear about? The Pro Bowl? I mean, that game was trash. I don't even know why they do a Pro Bowl. It's two-hand touch football. Nobody wants to see that.
I've never watched a Pro Bowl once, ever, in my life.
I went to watch the highlights yesterday on YouTube. It's an 11-minute video. I made it about 3 minutes in, and I got tired of watching it. I'm like, why would anyone even want to go to this nonsense?
Yep, I wouldn't do it. Good excuse to go to Hawaii, I guess, but no interest whatsoever.
Yeah. I get it for the players. They make like 50 or 100 grand each for going to the Pro Bowl. I don't know. Whatever. Can bigger species of Synodontis catfish live with rasboras and Danios? Synodontis petricola in 72 degrees water. That might be a little too cold for them, but it's probably all right. And As with any catfish, if a fish can fit in its mouth, it's going to eat them.
He speaks truth.
Oh, man. Dorgula's here. Dorgula, I'm telling Lisa, you said that, Bob. You are in trouble. Well, it can't be any worse than I said last week. So
No, definitely not. I'm still hearing about that.
Matthew Vargas says, what did you get in this week? I haven't got anything in this week. It is Monday. I've got nothing. I don't think... I'm getting a big box of Bosemani Rainbowfish in this week. And that is the only fish I'm getting this week. Matthew Vargas. That's it. And how are the Medusa Plecos? The 3 that lived are still alive. So it's going to take some time for them to heal up. Here's a question for you. Best tank mates for Peacocks Cichlids.
Other Peacock Cichlids. Nobody wants to hear that, but that's what I would...
I mean, it's a good answer. There's so many different types.
Yeah, you don't need to put... I mean, I'm obviously a fan of putting them with haps. I've also many times put them with imbunas and had no problems. You will get the people that are almost religious about it that'll give you crap for it. You'll get crap even for mixing peacocks and haps, which is absurd. But other African cichlids is what I've had the best success with. Haven't really experimented too much with putting other fish in that are not African cichlids. But with African cichlids, there's so many different varieties and so many different colors and shapes and sizes. You don't need to mix them with something that's not an African. But a peacock only tank, when I came back to YouTube, that was what I wanted to do originally, was nothing but peacocks. It's a beautiful tank. All different colors, get all males. It's beautiful.
I have been jonesing for an African cichlid tank. Peacocks are one of my favorites, but I also love Copetochromis.
Okay.
And I used to mix peacocks with Copetochromis all the time, and I love them. I actually have Copetochromis redfin borellii right now. I just can't decide what kind of peacocks I want to get.
Have you seen mine? He's a beast right there.
Yeah.
He's like 10 inches probably.
I used to breed them.
The borellii?
Way back in the day.
I've always wondered why they call a fish that has blue fins redfin borellii.
You know, I find that to be very common with African cichlids. There's like the redfin Cudo punctatus or something like that, and it's like the fins are yellow. And I Googled it back when I was like really into Africans years and years ago. I was like, why do they call all these fish red when none of them are red? And like you can get on these old message boards from way back in the day of people like fighting and going back and forth, and this is a European thing, it's an American thing, it's this, that, and the other. It's pretty funny. I don't understand it, but
my OB that you hate, he's not in a good position to be seen right now, but trying to point on him. Well, he's right there. You can see him now, but he is the reddest African cichlid I've ever seen. But you're right. Almost all of the red fish are orange. But the redfin borellii is a red fish with blue fins. I don't know. It's weird, these African cichlid people.
Have you ever kept Synodontis catfish?
We have, yeah.
With your Africans?
Yep. We kept them, let's see, we had a Tanganyikan tank that we kept them in. And then I don't remember. I think we kept them with imbunas in the store because they were so small. The imbunas were so small. They were just a good mix. But as far as our hobby tanks, I think that Tanganyikans is what we kept them with.
So somebody asked how the Gittleman rainbows are doing. So I got rainbows in last week. They're the Glossolepis species Gittleman, and they're a new rainbow to the hobby. They were discovered about 10 years ago. They don't even have a scientific name yet. They're doing well. They came in way smaller than I thought they would be, and they're super duper expensive fish. So I'm not sure. I mean, I could list them on my website, but they're going to be so expensive. I feel like people would actually like be angry about it. but there's nothing I can do about it. It's one of those. Do I put it on the website and make people mad, or do I just kind of keep them hidden and grow them out, and then put them on the website? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But they're doing well. So are the other rainbows. All the rainbows I got last week are doing really well. This is going to be a thing. Dragon Lair says, back in the 70s, red-top zebras were really red, but all you see now is orange. You think maybe that the color's been bred out of them over the years?
It's very possible, but I've seen video of them in the wild, and they're orange there too. I think it's just
collection points as well.
Yeah, but I think it's just a common thing. I mean, goldfish aren't gold.
No, but they're worth gold.
I think that it's common all across all of fish keeping. There's very few African cichlids that are actually red, that have red in the name, like the red top hongi. I've always called them hongi, but they might be hongai. I don't know. They're actually like a really deep dark red on the top, which is a accurate description based on their name. But all the others are always orange. They say red, but they're orange.
Another one is the red bushy nose plecos. They're not red. And then there's like super red. I'm like, that's super orange. It's not red. Right. I've never seen a red ancestress.
This fish right here, who's getting ready to go off screen, that fish is called a red top lawanda. Not one single speck of red on that fish anywhere. I don't know.
Hammer's Critic says Victorian cichlids are true red. That is true.
Very true. Yes, yep. Absolutely.
Yep. Probably the only of the 3 lakes that are actually red when they say red in the name. It's just unfortunate that only one of the males gets red and all the other ones are wusses and don't color up.
Pink. That lake is responsible for some of the most gorgeous African cichlids in the hobby, but hardly anybody even knows about them.
Yeah, I'm so tempted to buy some every time I order fish, but I know it wouldn't end well. I would sit on them for years before they would sell. I'd have to sell like one male at a time and then sell one male, the next male will color up, sell that one. Marion says, at Lisa at KG Tropicals, here's $5 for celebrating your second 29th birthday, and more importantly, to get Bob to get you a nice gift. That's not very nice.
He owes her a lot more than $5. I ain't kidding you. After what he said last week.
He said that she had her second 29th birthday. So what is she, 58? Jeez. That's worse than what I said. Man.
I don't think that's what he meant. I think he meant she basically turns 29 every year. I think that's where he was going with that. I hope anyway, because I get to hear about that later.
I know, I'm sure too. King and Queen Scott says, okay, Bob, just get John ranting again. Marvel versus DC. Which team are you on? And have you both seen John Wick 3? I know, everyone wants fish questions. Well, John Wick movies are far superior than any costume movie, but I don't, that question was to you, Marvel or DC?
I've refused to answer that on the grounds that it may incriminate me. I love so many characters from so many different things. I mean, The Flash is my guy. I love Shazam. I love Superman. I grew up on Superman. So those are all DC characters. But then again, I love Captain America. I love Iron Man. I love Spider-Man. Come on. I'm not going to choose. If you have to choose what's the best movies, it's going to go to Marvel every single time. With the exception of Shazam and Joker. Forget about it. Those are two of the best movies ever.
Shazam with Shaquille O'Neal?
Not that one.
Oh, that's the only one I know.
If you haven't seen Shazam,
and we
absolutely loved every single second of that. You lost me?
For a second. You're back now.
Hello?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. It's yours.
Yep.
I hope.
I'm hosting. It's all my fault. It's not your Wi-Fi.
Yes. Now, as far as the John Wick, I love the John Wick series. The best part of John Wick 3 was Halle Berry. I'm not being weird. I'm not being weird when I say that. It's just she was incredible in that movie. I wish. Do you think maybe they're setting it up for her
Don't
to
give me
kind of?
copyright strike. I think I just got in trouble.
For what?
So, just to clarify, Bob Steenfott, I am not 50, and I am not 58. I am 43.
Did she just say you're? Hey, you know you're on my live stream, right?
Yeah. I'm 43, that's okay.
Oh.
I don't mind admitting I'm 43 if that means I'm not 50.
Oh, is that the secret on how to get a woman's age? You just say that they're really old, and then they just say, "No, I'm not. I'm 43."
Is there an empty bottle of wine in that house somewhere?
43. I mean, I could be 40, but nah, never mind. That would be a lie. I'm 43. I don't mind saying I'm 43.
Well,
I'm 50.
you could be 33. Let's be real.
Well, thank you, but you're still in trouble.
Okay.
All
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
That woman. Did she really just do that?
She interrupted your live stream. Now I forgot.
But
What
does
we,
she?
so you were talking about John Wick.
Yeah, I mean, I said everything I wanted to say about it. That movie was all about Halle Berry to me. The one thing that kind of, I'm not going to spoil anything, am I? If I talk about the dogs, am I going to spoil
Oh,
anything?
if someone hasn't seen John Wick by now, then they deserve spoilers.
I mean, the guy from Game of Thrones shot the dog, but then I was very glad to see 30 seconds later it's up attacking all the bad guys. I was like, but the dog was shot. I didn't understand that part. Like, all of a sudden it's not shot anymore. I don't know that.
Really? Coming from a guy who likes comic book movies, that's your beef? Like, that never happens in comic book movies?
Everything else in that movie is so realistic. No,
You know,
but
the nice
no,
thing about, I'll say the nice thing, at least for the industry, about comic book movies, outside of maybe like one or two people, like they don't even have to hire actors anymore. They just gotta hire people that look good in tights. That's it. It requires no acting skill whatsoever to be in a comic book movie.
But that's okay though. I mean, I think Robert Downey Jr. did pretty daggone good in Endgame.
Oh
and
yeah,
if you don't
like
think
he
you
would
can,
be. Well, he's a good actor in general, so
Yeah.
like he would be the exception to that rule. But comic book movies suck. But anyways,
I did see the vest that the dog had on. Neve. No, I did see that, but I don't know. It just seemed like the dog was about to die, and I'm glad that it didn't.
well,
but
have you ever been shot with a bulletproof vest?
No, what?
I mean,
I've
you
worn
used to be a
bulletproof
cop.
vests.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Well, yeah, but we kind of didn't. We tried to avoid that kind of stuff. No, I never got. What are you crazy? No.
Well, when you get shot with a bulletproof vest, it feels like getting hit with a baseball bat. So yeah, the dog might have been out for, stunned for 30 seconds to a minute, and that needed to recuperate.
Well, I really liked it, and the dogs were incredible in
The
that
dogs
movie.
and Halle Berry.
Yep, I mean that was the best
Halle
thing
Berry,
about it.
the
And
dogs, the rest of the movie.
the other thing that I really liked about it was that there was really no story. It was just the second the movie starts, boom, the chase is on. They're just going crazy shooting. It was nonstop. I really liked that about it. Very good movie. Keanu Reeves is my hero. The guy's 7 years older than me, and look at what he's doing.
He's ageless. Bob Kaler with the $10 cheerleader. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. Bob says that he likes to get fired at regularly.
I saw what Bob Kaler looks like for the first time the other day.
Really?
I officially know what he looks like now. Yep.
What video?
I saw him on the
Aussie.
Aussie stream.
What's that?
I saw him on the Aussie stream.
Oh. He's been in a few videos. Unless I'm thinking of someone else.
I've seen a few of his videos, and it was
Oh my
always
gosh.
just him talking. Why are you oh my goshing? Did something happen with me again?
No, because I keep forgetting to turn off my notification buzzer on my phone.
Oh,
King and Queen Cichlid says no love for Hallie. Give me J-Lo in Hustlers. Yeah, but there's something really wrong with J-Lo. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is, but what she been divorced like 6 times? There's got to be something wrong with her. I'm just saying. That's all I'm gonna say
Halle
about
Berry has one of the best hot ones too.
What's
If
that?
you've seen the episode with Halle, that episode of Hot Ones with Halle Berry in it, she was awesome in there. I'm not like sitting here trying to be weird about Halle Berry. I'm just saying it was a great episode with her in it, and she is what made John Wick 3. There's no doubt about it.
Mr. Zen with the $15 super chat. Hello, Bob.
Will you leave me alone,
Hello,
please?
Mr. Zen. No, you saw him on Fish Room Fever's stream. Yeah, I feel like I've seen him a couple times. I posted a vid a week ago about doing a giveaway. Check it out, John, Mr. Bob Kaler.
Yeah, he is right. It was on Fish Room Fever. That's my bad. No, it was not the Aussie stream. It was Fish Room Fever. Yep, I'll be on his stream this weekend.
I thought that was last weekend.
No, it's this coming weekend, and you're not going to be on it this time.
I know. I didn't. That's the thing. I never get invited back. I get invited onto a stream once and never again. It happens with everyone.
That's true. You've had me on 2 weeks in a row. I've only had you on once, and then I quit for a year and a half. And then I brought you on again.
So that counts.
Yeah. I love having you on. It's fun.
One and done. One and done. Just like my relationships. Wait a minute.
Yep,
Anyway.
You just said that on live YouTube.
Bob, did you get any of the Lake Tangadink and Achilles from last week from the wet spot? Nope. I'm not going to pay wet spot prices. And I wouldn't give them my business either way. Bob is the boss, and he is the best. Chattanooga Ed.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Dude, he is probably my third favorite actor. Everyone's super chatting me now after I've been on live stream for an hour. I don't want to go offline. I want to keep
Who
you
are the
on
top
here
two?
because
If Leo is your third, who are your top two?
the top two are probably tied for one. So I have 1, 1, 3, right? It's Keanu Reeves and Jim Varney. Then Leonardo DiCaprio.
Jim Varney is in the guy from Andy Griffith?
Jim Varney from Ernest Goes to Camp. Ernest Saves
Oh,
Christmas.
that guy. Okay.
And it's
So
simply
now
because that dude, if you like just watch him like outside of those crazy movies, he was just a really, really good dude. And he played those roles really well. He was a good actor, but he was just a really good dude in real life too, just like Keanu Reeves is. And that's what makes me like people, is how they are, how they act.
I mean, okay. I'll give you that. I don't know anything about Jim Varney, rest his soul, but Keanu Reeves is known for being a super nice guy. And I mean, I've seen a lot of videos, like candid videos of him and stuff, where he does seem like a super cool guy. I don't know that he's, at the same level of talent for acting that Leo DiCaprio is, but
well, see, that's the thing with Leo, is he's done a lot of douchey things, but he's put out so much good content that it kind of counteracts the douchey things that he's done. So, anyways. Mr. Zen with the $20 super chat says, hello at Kaler. If you're going to say hello to someone, that's the way to do it. I like it. Give me money to say hello to someone else.
That's funny. Did you lose me again?
No, I still got you.
Oh. I was going to say, and I think I got cut off, I think Leo is probably the best actor we've got right now in all of cinema. I
He's
do believe
really
that.
good. See, somebody agrees with me. Jim Varney is the true GOAT. When he dressed up as the old lady with the neck brace. He's just really good. Leo is a hardcore environmentalist now. He's got a couple loose screws up there. No, what
They
makes
all
him a
do.
loose screw is that he's a hardcore environmentalist and takes his jet everywhere. That's the problem. He's
They're
going from
all-
LA to San Diego. He's going to get on his jet. It doesn't matter.
They're all weirdos. I mean, you have to look past that, except for maybe Keanu Reeves. They're all weirdos, and if we based our opinions on them based on their personal lives, we would hate them all.
Well, I do hate most of them. That's why I don't go to the movies.
I would have said a while back. I mean, De Niro in his day was the best. Tom Hanks in his day was the best, and there still could be an argument for him being the best even now to this day. But Leo, since he came out, that sounded weird. Since he came into the industry, has been the leader of the pack as far as I'm concerned. You don't get much better than Arnie from What's Eating Gilbert Grape. I mean, you don't see acting better than that.
I liked him in the movie. I don't remember what it's called, but it was like 3 hours long. All his movies got to be 3 hours long.
Shutter Island, probably.
No, it was the Wall Street one.
Oh, Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah.
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street. I really
Oh,
like
the
that movie.
scene when he was on the Quaaludes and he went out and got in the Lamborghini. That's one of the best scenes that's ever been put on tape. That was incredible.
It was. What about Nicolas Cage? Oh my gosh, I feel bad for that dude.
Nicolas Cage was the guy for a long time back in those days. And I don't care what anybody says. I love the National Treasure movies. You can make fun of me all you want. I loved those movies, and I think he was really good in those.
I love the first one.
Well,
Second one was
good too.
entertaining, but I really liked the first one, and I watched it not too long ago. Just saying.
It's kind of like the John Wick series. I loved all three of those movies. The first one was a game changer. And then the second one and the third one was just kind of embellishing everything that worked so well in the first one. Still good movies, but nothing compared to the first one.
Face Off, John Travolta and Nick Cage. Oh my God.
Let me tell you something. If you have, this is the funniest thing. If you have Amazon Prime, there is a movie that is called The Fanatic with John Travolta in it. I told Lisa about this the other night. I saw it and I heard about people making fun of that movie. So the other night I put it on. The very first line in that movie, John Travolta does a horrible job playing somebody that is challenged. Okay. Not, full R word like in Tropic Thunder, but challenged. The very first line he says in the movie is, "Hurry up because I have to go poop."
What are you doing to my stream right now?
I
Lucas Bresswood's here. He says, hello, all you awesome people. Was going to hang and listen about Rainbowfish, but movies, I'm out of here. Well, Lucas, you got to come at the beginning of my streams. We're past the hour point. We're way past the topic.
Even though you spent 45 minutes talking about rainbows.
I know. But let's not get too much on the movies, man. Movies are... Edward Norton is pretty good. As I say, let's not talk about movies.
He is very good.
Now, if you want to drop a super chat like Matthew Vargas and say, I liked him in Inception, which I just watched the other day, or at least I dreamt he was in Inception.
Did you spin the little dreidel? Did you spin it?
That's a Michael Scott quote from The Office. Thank you, Matthew Vargas. Priscilla, Fish. What about Fish? We could talk about Fish movies. A Fish Called Wanda. It's the only Fish movie I know.
Finding Nemo. Hello.
The only good fish movie I know. Bob Kaler, thank you, Priscilla, with the $2 super chat. Bob Kaler with the $20 super chat. Bob, Mr. Zen has stopped super chatting, so I got this one more to match his. Wait, I butchered that. Thank you for your stream and all you do in the community. #1 fan. I think he's talking to you. Must be you. Split is a great movie. I don't know.
He's obviously talking to you. You're the king.
I don't know. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Aquaman. I never saw that one.
Aquaman was good.
The only Well, never mind. Those aren't even fish movies. I was gonna say I love submarine movies, but don't really have anything to do with fish. It's water
Jaws.
though. There wasn't enough fish in a fish. Have you ever seen A Fish Called Wanda?
I have.
Okay. I think I was talking to this movie or talking about that movie with Jimmy, and he'd never seen it, but he's a youngin, so.
I can't tell you anything about it because I saw it back in like 1984, but yeah, I have seen it.
Aquaman was really good.
She likes Jason Momoa, and you know what? I can't blame her. It's a good-looking man.
I think I saw him in some Netflix series.
Probably that Frontier show or something like that.
Yeah.
What they called that? I tried watching it. I wasn't interested.
Yeah, I think I made it like 4 episodes or something.
Do you know who he's married to?
I have no idea.
Lisa Bonet.
I don't even know who that is.
She's like 73 years old.
Is she rich?
Well, she was one of the Huxtables. She played, was it Denise? She played one of the oldest, not the oldest, the second Huxtable daughter in the Cosby Show. And she was beautiful then. She was almost like a young Halle Berry then. But now, she's like, I'm pretty sure she's 83 years old and married to a god like Jason Momoa. Lisa says, Lisa who? Not that Lisa.
Okay,
Not
Anne
the Lisa
says
you want
that
him to
she's
be
8
married
to 10
to.
years older than him. That's not too bad.
She's like 50 and hot. No, she has to be over 50. She was in Ray Donovan, and maybe she was supposed to look bad in that show. I don't know. She looked old, but she was playing a crackhead. So
I don't know how we still have 170 people here. This is amazing. She was married to Lenny Kravitz too.
she was a long time ago. Yeah.
See, now I would just like to point out for people watching the replay, people in the chat, I have tried to bring this back to fish, but you guys keep talking about movies. So don't get mad at me if we're not talking about fish. You guys are talking about movies. You guys are talking about actors. Don't leave some nasty comment down below after this uploads. You guys are talking about movies, not me. Just saying.
She looks like a female Lenny Kravitz. That is hilarious. She was born in 1967. Okay, that means she's 7 years older than me. She's 52. There.
That's
52
like
plus
the new
20.
42 now. I don't know. Zach's Tank's Crazy Aquarium guy says, "Hey Bobby, which is the least aggressive rainbow fish?"
Oh, we're
the
back
big
to
ones?
fish now.
I don't think any of them are aggressive personally. So I've never had an aggressive rainbow fish. So when people say they're aggressive, I don't know what they're talking about. I wish I had an answer for you, but I don't because I've never had an issue. And I've
Candy makes a good point. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible guest. I'm sorry.
I don't care. I'm just gonna say I've kept about every rainbow you can get, and I've never had one being aggressive. Only aggressive towards plants, not other fish. King and Queen Cichlid says sorry. I guess it is his fault.
It is definitely his fault. He
Multiple
started
super
it.
chats about movies.
He's just trying.
Curtis brings up a good point. Look at Jennifer Aniston. She's 50-something.
And so is Halle Berry. Halle Berry is too. I think Halle Berry's over 50. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she's like 52, 53. Like 50s is nothing anymore.
Kate Beckinsale, I think, is up there. But Lisa Bonet looks 20 years older than she is. And
Zen Ginger says, my UPS hasn't updated. Oh, yeah, I should probably do that for you. I did ship them today. And I think I forgot to put in the tracking information. I'm so used to it.
I got this from UPS today.
Jumbo Krill. Sorry, Zen Ginger. I did ship them today. It's 2 days. It'll be there in 2 days. And I'll update the tracking as soon as I'm done with the stream. I'm used to it being automatic, but PayPal is not automatic. So I'll get it updated. Whew. Will my angels tear up a school of guppies? They will definitely eat fry if you have fry. Adults, probably not so much.
Population control.
The thing with angelfish is I think they're perfectly fine community fish, but when you start keeping them upwards of 80 degrees, 82, that range, that's when they start getting angry, in my experience. Okay, I'm gonna wait. Scott says, okay, I'm going to be before I get hit with stones. I'm going to bed probably. I get it. Anyways.
Comes in here, drops all those bombs, and then goes to bed. What a jerk. I think he's actually smart, though. I think what he was looking for, and he's probably upset because we're an hour and a half in. I think he was using a smart strategy there, and I admire him for this. I think that he asked about the shows so that I would mention that we're doing the Big Fish deal in March, which you won't be a part of because it's all the way across the country from you. And that's very smart, smart strategy to get that mentioned here. Really looking forward to that. We're going to do a lot of really cool things there at the old Big Fish deal. It's going to be a good time.
There's going to be a lot of cool people there too, even though I'm not one of them. We're
going to hold it down. We're going to hold it down.
It sounds like a pretty fun event. I wish I could go. Maybe next year.
This one has to be the biggest one from a YouTuber standpoint. And I heard Scott saying something about it the other night in his stream, talking about you almost have to have YouTubers at these events now in order to get a lot of people there. And I agree. I mean, it does seem that way. You know, if you want to get a lot of people to show up, get the YouTubers to go. But I think that's a sign of what's happening, you know? I mean, that's where the world's going right now. And so I don't, and sure, I'm a little biased because I'm a YouTuber myself, but I don't think it's a bad thing.
Well,
if we can draw
like
a crowd,
it's not just fish. Like anyone who has a massive following, whether it's autos or tools, guns, computers, you know, if they're going to an event, obviously people are going to go. Like they're going to have a huge impact on that event. So.
I mean, I was saying it on live streams like a year ago. If these shows want to survive, they need to start embracing us. And Aquashella did that, and they didn't do it. It didn't have anything to do with me, but I'm saying Aquashella really did do that, embraced YouTubers and said, hey, YouTubers, come on, let's all work together here. And that show's blowing up, and others that kind of acknowledged us a little too late.
Aquatic experience.
Have now become dust in the wind. So
canceled, all because of me.
Right.
I like to take credit for that.
I'm pretty sure it is your fault.
I know it's not me, but I'll still take credit because I've been saying it since day one. Any input on keeping blue-eyed signifer with a colony of cherry shrimp? Excellent idea. No issues at all. I mean, they might pick off some shrimplets, but put lots of plants in there, and they'll be cohesive. It'll be great. Matthew Vargas says, needs more Venezuelan cories. These fish are amazing. I know, I only have like 2 or 3 left of that batch I got, and I've just been hanging on to them, watching them, hoping to get more someday, but those were bred by a hobbyist, and it's tough to say if I'll get them again. Oh, crap, I just skipped chat. Well, I'm now all the way down at the bottom. Ann Thornton says, social media peeps have huge influence on growth of hobbies. Witness my other hobbies' massive resurgence, Dungeons and Dragons. I've never played that game a day in my life. Steenfott Aquatics, how do you pronounce Demonsoni? There you go. That's how I pronounce it.
And you say it wrong.
I don't know if that's right or wrong, but...
That is one... See, Zach's doing that on purpose because he knows I'm going to get on you for that. That is the one fish that I officially know the actual pronunciation of.
I know, and I heard you rant about it on your live stream, and you know the guy that the lake's named after and everything, but I'm still going to say Demonsoni.
And you're still going to say it wrong, and that's fine. We still love you. It's no big deal.
Yeah, you say better wrong, who cares?
Hey, there you go.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do.
When I say Demonsoni, people know what I'm talking about. That's the only thing that matters. Brown hair algae,
still
what
wrong,
to
though.
do? More water changes, less food. I do not play League of Legends. I never have. I do play pretty much PUBG. That's about it. Bob, what was the brackish rainbow in the last Gary Lang Fish Room Tour Aquarium Co-op did? I have no idea. I'm guessing it's probably a pseudomcgill of some kind, but I don't know offhand. Question for John. 2 of my Oscars developed dark edges on their fins. Anything I could do to make it go away?
Nope. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, maybe a smarter person like Bob would know better than me, but I don't know that that's something that even can be corrected.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea.
I think that's just the way they're supposed to be there, brother.
Yep. Ed Egg Hoon says Cyan Doralis. That could be it. They are a brackish rainbow fish, pseudomcgill, but I still don't know. Got back in PUBG, and man, am I bad at it. Yep. Demonsoni, Abomani. It's a last name, and I. Bob Kaler says that is normal coloration as they grow.
So
have
wait
you ever
a minute.
owned Glossolepis multisquamatus, and where can I buy them? I have owned them. It's been quite a long time, and I don't know anyone who currently has them.
So does that mean that those fish are Bozemanii, not Bosemani? Or is the guy's name Bozeman?
I don't know.
And
Gary Lang pronounces it Bosemani, so that's what I go with.
oh well, then yeah, we'll go with that then.
But there is a Bowmani, but it's a completely different fish. I don't
Drone
know.
talk. We know Bob loves it.
The eye could go either way, I guess.
I
What
was
do I
always
like?
told that the I at the end means a hard I, like I. It's pronounced I, and if there's I at the end, it's ei is how it's pronounced. That's how I was told. But Lord knows I've been wrong a lot.
Bob's name and tool will be Chad.
Chad.
The
That's
Chad.
cute. Chad would work for you.
Do you know what movie that's from? The Chad.
I do, and I'm drawing a blank. It's not The Office. Not Office. Office Space. Oh, you're just gonna have to tell
Tom
me.
Green. Ringing any bells?
I'm drawing a blank.
Charlie's Angels. The Chad.
I don't know. Do you know how tired I am? I don't know.
Well, why are you still sitting here on this live stream?
Because you're not letting me go.
I know. Oh, actually, I was gonna call it at 6:30, and it's 6:35, so I am gonna call it. You got any final words for these people?
It's been a lot of fun until that guy ruined it by saying I'm out because you're not talking about fish.
that guy named Lucas.
Was that Lucas that said that? That's
Yes.
funny.
It was Lucas Bretz.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, Lucas knows I love him. No, this was fun, and I appreciate the information on rainbows. I'm not being silly. I am serious about possibly doing a tank of them. I think it'd be cool, and I know a whole lot more about them. I know that they're basically the easiest fish on planet Earth to keep, so I like it.
They're pretty easy, almost as easy as guppies.
Well,
it
then-
the Chad? Yes, it was the Chad. The Chad. All right, guys. So we're gonna end this stream, and I just want to say, be sure to hug your loved ones tonight, because you never know when it's gonna be your last day. So tell them that you love them. Give them a hug every single day, because you never know when you're not gonna come home.
Very
Have a good
true.
night, everyone.